Hello and welcome. This is Tom from Own Don't Rent, making your home ownership dreams a reality. Now, I believe in a fair go for people out there who want to own their own home, even if you don't have any deposit right now. Today in this video, we're going to hear with our legal expert here in Sydney, Mr. Mel Ciampa. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Welcome.
Now, for the benefit of people out there who want to know more about the saving program and what is the benefit, could you mind tell us a bit about yourself?
Sure. Well, I'm a legally qualified conveyancer. I've been doing conveyancing for about 23 years.
Right.
And I'm based here in Sydney. And over the last 5 years or so, I've developed a specialisation in terms deals for property. And I'll explain what that means a little bit later on. But my focus has always been property, and I am a property expert.
Great, cool. As you know that we are in the business of helping people who want to own their own home to sell or finance and rent to buy. Could you mind tell us a little bit about how this saving program work?
Sure. Basically, it's by the use of our trust account.
Right.
We actually act for people who want to buy a home, and we make our trust account available for them to pay instalments into to save up their deposit.
Right.
And the money's preserved and identified in our trust account for each of our clients.
Okay, cool. So with people out there who might, they got at the back of their minds, they want to ask a question of like, how is my money safe? What would we say to them?
Well, the whole idea is that by paying the money into our trust account, it is preserved, and our trust account is governed by legislation, and pursuant to that legislation, our trust account is audited annually. We also produce monthly statements to our clients,
Right.
so that they can see what they're saving up and what progress they're making, and they know where their money is and how much there is there. On top of that, the thing that our clients need to know is that they are our clients. We're acting for them, and this is part of the conveyancing process. So we're acting for them in their interests only in relation to the transaction. And so, as with any other solicitor or conveyancer, we have professional indemnity insurance,
Right.
which covers them for not only the actual handling of the property transaction, but for the handling of their money.
Right.
So that gives them the security to know that their funds are safe.
Great, cool. So what is the benefit of people who want to go through the saving program, in your opinion?
Well, I mean, the main benefit, apart from putting them on that path and the discipline of helping them save the deposit, is that they get priority to securing a property.
Right.
The way it works with you, obviously know, is that you identify what the client wants in terms of a property, in terms of location, price, nature of the property, and you put them on that path to securing that property. And in doing that, you identify how much they need to save, and you get them there. They then have a priority to securing a property on terms.
What do you mean by term?
Well, what I mean by terms is, as opposed to the standard type of contract where a buyer pays a deposit, enters a contract, and 6 weeks later they have to pay the rest of the money for the property, terms means effectively that it's strung out over time.
Right.
Okay, they get time to do it, and they get assistance from the property owner. So rather than having to pay 10% up front and the other 90% in 6 weeks, they're given much more time than that.
Right.
And there are a few different ways to do it, but effectively they have time to save up the remainder of the money they need. They have time to overcome any credit defaults they may have, and then down the track in the future obtain their own loan in the usual way and then settle on the purchase of the property. The real beauty of it, as I see it, is that they get to move into the property immediately, so they get to treat the property as their own, even though they don't have to come up with the rest of the money until a long way down the track.
Right.
So they have the benefits of home ownership, but the advantage of time to help them get the money together, get the loan they need to then settle on the purchase.
Basically, in other words, they can own their own home right away before they even go to the bank.
That's right.
Cool. So can you tell me a bit about like what is the difference between on the saving program versus they save their own money, go to the bank, get the loan, and then buy the house? What's the difference between the two?
Well, For starters, with the savings program, they don't have to approach a lender straight away.
Right.
So if they have any credit issues, they've got the time to overcome those issues. Secondly, when they approach a lender, they need to show evidence of a large amount of savings, an amount which a lot of people simply don't have.
What sort of percentage they have to save?
Typically, they need between 10 to 20% plus expenses, stamp duty being the biggest expense. And on the median sale price of a Sydney property, that would probably be around the $100,000 mark. It's a large amount of money. Now, when comparing that to a terms transaction, they don't need anywhere near that amount of money. Typically, they usually only need to save about 4%, 3 to 4% up front, and then through their own savings ongoing once they've entered the contract and moved into the property, they can then accumulate the remainder.
Great, cool. So thank you so much, Mel, for spending time with us today. Just before we go, if someone out there wants to know more about information, would you mind have any contact detail for them?
Sure, and look, I encourage people to contact us because a lot of people haven't heard of terms deals, they don't know how they work.
Yeah.
So I encourage people to contact me and ask me questions. We have a website which has some information for our clients. That's www.homeandhoused.com.au. Then I also encourage people to phone me. Our office number is 02 9804 7111. And my email address, if they want to send me an email with any questions, is mel, that's MEL, @homeandhoused.com.au.
Cool. Thank you so much for doing that.
Pleasure.
Yeah. So if you have any questions, just give Mel a call. And I hope this video is help. Until next week, have a good day. Thank you.